look around right now. This is really nice. Now, moving this way, what do you see? And you see the 2020 Shelby Gt500. This view out here is amazing. We still have the Toyos in the back. I'll be honest, I don't think they grip any better than the stock 315 PS4 tires, which is pretty funny just saying that. But we've got some great news. The tires should be coming in, the front tires for the GT500. Now, they've been out of stock like everywhere, and you can see on this side, again, all the belt showing and the tire just ripping off. I'm just happy to say that we're finally getting new tires, so just stay tuned for that. And once we get those new tires, we can start tracking the GT500 more. So that's always fun, it really is. But speaking about tracking, I want to tell you guys today what I think is the fatal flaw for the new GT500. Don't get me wrong, this car is amazing. It's so much fun. I am so happy with it, and it completely has lived up to all of my expectations. It really has. And from what I can tell online, everyone else who has this car is really enjoying it. That's awesome to see. However, though, what I'm speaking about today applies to everybody, at least everyone who wants to drive this car decently hard. To be honest with all of you, I haven't seen any magazine really cover this before too. So this is one of those things that you should learn over time when it comes to owning the GT500, putting a lot of miles on it, and driving hard. And to be completely frank, it does affect how I feel about the car when it comes to enjoying it. And no, I am not speaking about tires. Yes, with all cars, tires can be very expensive. Even with the GT350R, it costs like almost $1,600 for a full set of Cup 2 tires. With this car, it's pretty high up there. It's like $480 a tire for the front tires, and the back, I think they're like $450. However, all cars deal with that, so just disregard that. These are sticky tires, and for owning a car like this that's as fast as this, you need the best tires you can possibly buy. There are a lot of things that people don't like about the new GT500, first of which is a rotary dial gear selector. It's kind of split with that. If you have this car, you really don't care about it because it works so well, meaning that once you turn on the car and go and drive, you just forget about it, right? You just use those paddle shifters and shift. And plus the DCT, it's just so quickly and it's so easy to use, it makes it a lot of fun. Do I think that's the fatal flaw? Not really. But another thing people don't like is out of the side skirts down here, because as you can see, it kicks up all these rocks. And some people, they buy a rock guard to put right here in the front to block those rocks from traveling right here on top of the side skirt. If you clear bra your car, you should be fine. Or if you buy this car and you should drive it again, you're just gonna forget about it. It's not really gonna bother you. The hood's really cool, but constantly putting on that rain tray whenever it rains, it becomes a really big hassle. So nowadays, I'm just leaving it installed, and for track days, I'm just taking it out because I'll be driving sometimes and then it'll start raining randomly over in SoCal, and I gotta deal with trying to find the rain tray and all the bolts, like all the 12 bolts that bolt in, and pulling off the freeway, pulling off the road, and trying to put that rain tray back inside. Even for washing the car and keeping it clean, you gotta put that rain tray back on again. I don't see any of the cars out there that require you to manually put on a rain tray to protect it from getting water flying into the engine bay. Again, these things are just minor, and it really doesn't affect the way I enjoy this car, have fun with it, and look at it. Now let's move into the interior. Here we go, hopping inside the 2020 Shelby Gt500. I've been enjoying this car for so long now. It's been so amazing. Now, being it shares the same doors as a Mustang, the door panels, down here, it's got that plastic finish. The quality is not what I expected it to be for being so expensive. For example, this entire center console, if I knock on it, just listen to how it sounds. It feels like a gigantic piece of plastic. And the plastic is absolutely everywhere. Plus the panels up here, it doesn't look the part. You have this fake stitching accents. You have all the plastic all over the place. Even right here, the glove compartment is one big piece of plastic. This is all plastic too, up here. Even all these panels, it just feels beyond cheap in this car. The same goes for the roof lining and the cloth. Even this entire A-pillar, it's a big piece of plastic. Who cares though, right? You're buying this car to have fun with it, to enjoy it. But deep down, I'll be honest, and I think many of you might agree, when you're spending this much money on a car, you would expect the quality of it to be a bit better. A lot of people I know are getting these cars and they're having that same issue. Plus, these cars are not shipped any differently than your normal Mustang. So let's say you buy the carbon fiber track package, which is very expensive, like 94 grand if you don't get the painted stripes. If you get the painted stripes, it starts climbing. So out the door, maxed out, it's $100,000. You can find these in the back of trailers, getting damage on them, getting paint damage. When you buy a C8 Corvette, like my C8 Corvette right now is completely shrink wrapped so that nothing can damage it. The whole body itself is covered to protect it. The reason I'm mentioning all of this is not because I'm trying to hate on this car, because if you think I don't like this, then you're completely wrong. You got to go watch all of our videos all over again. This is the best Mustang of all time, really. However, I want to be completely real with you. And I said this back when I was first buying this car. I don't want to sugarcoat anything. I want to be completely honest. Owning this car and spending $81,000 was the MSRP on the car. Buying the car for this much money and even buying the track pack for $105,000 when that comes in, the quality doesn't seem to move up with the price tag. Personally, do I really care? No, because I bought this car to have fun, chase exotics in the racetrack, even pass them, do a 10.6 quarter mile run, and in that regard, it's amazing at it. Let's hop inside and go for a drive so that I can show you the true fatal flaw of the GT500. Let's turn it on. Whew, it never gets old, does it? Let's go into drive. Parking brake is off. Let's put on sport mode so we can open up the exhaust valve to get more of a touchy throttle response. Let's do track exhaust on top of that, and here we go. The car should be in the loudest setting possible. Let's do a launch control. It's so fast! And the sound it makes. The Predator engine is amazing. The way it drives, it never gets old. It really doesn't. I mean, the power, it's always there no matter what RPM you're at. And when you go full throttle, it hooks. Like that. And when you upshift, it's instant. Full throttle in the 2020 GT500. Oh my God! God, so crazy! It just feels insane. But oh my gosh, there it is. That's a fatal flaw with the GT500. That's gotta be it. I just spent about $3 in gas just now. Every single pull I do, I watch the gas gauge just go like that, like that. And on the racetrack, that's when it hits you, and I mean it hits you. You'll go out on Willow Springs Raceway, and after 30 minutes driving flat out, you have close to no gas in the gas tank. And then you gotta get off the track and spend close to $7-8 in gas per gallon, or go 5 miles away to your local gas station. At some tracks, there are no local gas stations. At Chuckwalla, there's not a gas station within 30 miles. So at the track, I was forced to spend $6 to $7 per gallon for gas. Hey, so filling up the gas tank for the second time today. That's basically almost every single 30-minute session. That really hits you hard. This is the most expensive car I've ever owned to track. Ever. The GT350R, I can go out for a full session and then go back again for the next session, non-stop consecutively. With this, the gas mileage is holding you back. Going to the racetrack, this car is so good that you have nothing to worry about, except for your gas gauge. It doesn't overheat, the temps don't get high. All that you see though is that your fuel gauge quickly goes from the right to the left, and after a few laps, you're at 3/4 of a tank. A few more laps, you're at half a tank, and then next thing you know, you have close to nothing. So as you can see, we're back at the gas station because it is a GT500, has a V8, so the gas consumption, it's pretty crazy. Like right now, I have a 1/4 tank of fuel and I have 20 miles to E. On just normal driving long distance, I'm getting 14 miles per gallon, which is pretty good for this car. That's with like cruise control turned on and driving 70 miles an hour in 7th gear at like, let's say 2,000 RPMs. It does pretty good at long distance road trips. But again, for this car having a big V8 and producing 760 horsepower, it's going to consume a lot of gas. It's one of those trade-offs where you have to choose between wanting a naturally aspirated vehicle that doesn't go through as much gas, but can drive for a much longer amount of time, full throttle on the racetrack, or do you want the car that's on its edge the entire time? The performance is in sync with everything else out there, but at the same time, for being up here, it's going to cost a lot more to maintain and run. It's when you track the car, you get 4 miles per gallon. So it's one of those things that you just got to deal with it. The fuel consumption on the racetrack is so much that it's all you're thinking about when you're driving fast. You get off, put more gas in it, go back out, get off, put more gas in it. Yeah, I think you guys get my point. This car uses more fuel than my GT500 Super Snake. That car is 1,000 horsepower. Anyways, thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button. It really has helped me out. And subscribe for much more great Shelby videos coming your way. Stay tuned for all the track content. It's going to be so much fun this month. I can't wait. I'll see all of you in the next episode.